And I'm thinking now, what is all about giving you the best that I got, baby. What I said is
It took a second.
giving you the best that I got.
Okay.
And I give you
Okay. So now those aren't words. Okay. All right.
But you understood the melody of it though, from like a
Like
talent standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. It took me a second to get there, but once I was there for sure.
No. What I'm saying, I guess, from like that person can sing a lot, good, well, great.
Well, I think that person
And I'll
maybe
tell you now. Sorry, maybe I just had a different note. Let me try it. And I'll tell you now.
ooh.
You say your thoughts are giving your mind. You know, it's one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me. I was dating this girl in college once. I'm already giving too many details, but fine. Dating this girl in college once. One time she sent me a voice note of her singing. Horrible. Horrible.
Oh, I can't wait to ask after this.
And brother, you talking about before there was a vocabulary to say what the ick was. My brother in Christ. That was it.
Full on secondhand embarrassment. Full on.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything worse to me than someone who thinks that they can sing and they actually can't, because that means to me that you don't know anything. I think that means that you don't know shit.
Yeah.
Horrible judgment
at low.
Yeah. Like you have horrible judgment on things that you shouldn't have. Like I have a problem with that personally, and it seems like you do as well. That's a major red flag. That's a major red flag. If you're on stage, again, karaoke's fun. Everybody wants to sing, we'll like have a good time. But you're sending voice notes of you singing to me,
baby girls,
and you meant it.
Close the doors.
And you
close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. The only equivalent of that I can think of is guys being unathletic and trying hard, like for shorties. You like guys, and then they, playing basketball and they're bad at playing basketball, or they're trying to what's crazy is a lot of guys now post boxing content, like them boxing and stuff.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Like
as
very
far as
much
ick,
like
equal levels of ickness where like I don't look at you the same way at all.
Like nigga, you're embarrassing yourself out there on that court, and I'm supposed to be here like, oh, I'm supposed to cheer you on. No, you look goofy. You're embarrassing.
You look horrible. You look really bad. Yeah. Anyways, this is Dated, a show that investigates love. My name is Danny Sellers. All right, let's get that out the way. And every once in a while, on a Sunday afternoon, maybe sometimes Saturday afternoon, I wake up from my beautiful apartment in Brooklyn, New York. I go to the gym sometimes. I have coffee. I have coffee on my couch, and I think to myself, what can I investigate and fix today? In totality. And then when I do that, oftentimes in my brain, I say, I'm going to fix love.
Hey, amen.
Yeah. I'm going to fix love in such a way that we're going to be healed after I fix it today in this moment. And then as I'm thinking about that moment, I'm like, well, I can't fix love by myself. That would be crazy.
Insane.
Speaking of self-awareness, that would be, not really aware. So I said, who do I know in this whole world, 7-8 billion people, that could help me fix love in its totality? And I said, you know what? Torrance motherfucking Winder will be able to do it. Make some noise, Torrance Winder. Make some noise. Everybody make some noise, Torrance Winder in the house.
Let's fix some shit, y'all. Let's listen and let's fix some shit. Let's fix love, okay? Let's make it a little bit easier.
This is an authentic conversation. I was about to say something toxic.
Okay, glad you caught yourself.
I hate if anyone starts a podcast or says anything about podcasting that it's authentic. I'm going to ask you to leave immediately. When I say leave, I mean Earth. I'm going to politely ask you to leave Earth, okay?
Because a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just have a microphone.
Yeah.
And they learn how to press record and they just be talking. So,
yes.
I like to think that I do. Y'all may think otherwise, but I like to think that I do.
And someone who works in podcasting, I've heard so many pitches about, we just get the microphones and get going. I'm like, brother, that's the wrong thing. We should be doing is just get the microphone and get going. Anyways, Torrance, it's springtime. Look, we back in New York. We back. It's walkable. It's walkable weather. And when it's walkable weather, everybody's in danger. Not literally, but figuratively when it comes to my goals.
It is New York. Special Victims Unit. Yikes.
Yeah, okay. See, I don't watch that show because of that.
I don't think you should. As someone who has watched almost every single season, I don't think anybody who lives in New York should voluntarily decide to turn that shit on because God damn, that'll make you stay inside.
Is that the one with Ice-T? Like he's a monotone, like
yes.
He's a sick Negro. He needs to be in jail.
Yes.
These guys.
But yes, that's exactly what it is. It's the one with Ice-T and it's a great show but
forever.
But
the fact that Ice-T finessed millions and millions of dollars by being Ice-T, because Ice-T on that show is Ice-T as a cop. He's not a different guy. I don't even know what his name is, but he's literally anything I've seen on that show. Oh, that's Ice-T on TV playing.
His name is Detective Tutuola.
No, it's not. It's Detective Ice.
Ice-T.
First name Ice. Last Detective T is his name. His name is Detective T because he walks in the same monotone. Oh, what the hell's going on, man? This is crazy.
He raises his voice sometimes. He does raise his voice sometimes, but like you said, it kind of has that same it's in that same spot. Like it doesn't like. There's no pitch in there. It's just
we gotta investigate this. This is a crime scene.
Yeah.
Who was on the crime scene before I got here?
And it's a little draw afterwards every single time. This is correct. This is correct.
Him, Keanu Reeves, I aspire to be those kinds of people where I can just be really famous by being Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan hasn't acted a day in his life.
He hasn't been asked to.
No, they said, Tracy Morgan, can we just put you in this specific universe where you're this version of Tracy Morgan? You're an old head New Yorker, or at this point in his career, old head New Yorker you were famous once. Oh, you're on 30 Rock. He's pretty much Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
On this, he has a new show on like CBS or NBC.
Oh yeah,
where
with like Daniel Radcliffe.
He has two shows going right now.
Yeah.
The Last OG. Same thing. It was a TBS show, something like that. It was like, Tracy Morgan, we're going to ask you to be Tracy Morgan. And that's a kind of goal that I aspire to be, where I'm just Danny in different multiverses.
I also feel that way about Tiffany Haddish because there have been times when people have asked her to play somebody else. And I'm like, you still you, girl. You're Tiffany.
You're Tiffany Haddish. Anyways, I was talking about spring. And spring's here, like I said. It's a pretty much above 50, around 50 to 60 every day now here in New York. We had a false spring in this past week and a half. It hurt. It hurt me in my chest. My feelings were hurt. I was emotional. I thought we were done. But now I think we're done. I think the lowest it'll go is like maybe high 30s, but I think we're in the clear. I know it's bad, but in New York weather terms, coming out of the summer.
Yeah. Sorry.
Above 40. Really above 40, where you could walk around with like just a regular coat and not need a scarf and whatever, you'll take it all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll take that.
But I want to know, Torrance, do you have any spring must-haves, right? Not summer, not full-blown summer, but we're getting, even in LA, there's a little down season where, the spring is a little rainy season, it's cold. Things slow down a little bit. But before the summer, everyday peoples were outside, nipples out on the beach all day. What are your spring 2026 must-haves?
That's a great question. That's a fantastic question. I think I'm traveling. I want to travel.
Oh, okay.
I want to do something. I want to see some stuff.
Where are you going?
It is, I think it's imperative for, because summertime in LA, I would like to do this. I would like to do summer in LA. I enjoy that. So the spring for me is like, people are gearing up for summer. And things are about to start coming back, but that gives me time to travel to other places and see what's happening everywhere else. So I like to do a little traveling. So I'm probably gonna go, do a little weekend in San Diego.
Oh,
right? You know what I'm saying?
Dolo or with somebody?
Just solo, dolo. Just like a little solo moment. Me and Kyle were going to France in June.
Oh, nah. There you go.
Yeah, for a wedding. Fire. Yep, for a wedding over there.
Nice and white wedding.
It's a mixy. It's a little mixy joint, but it'll probably be majority.
Okay.
Probably be a little majority. Yeah. I think travel is really, I think this is the time to just do a little bit, pop over here. It's like, oh, this is nice. It's nice. It's not too hot, not too cold. The perfect type of movement to sort of like go to different places and try and see
for me, this spring is like my first full winter in New York. I'm just trying to be outside. Yeah. Like sun, the beach, it might not be totally ready yet, maybe for back half of spring, but outside, block parties, eating outside, smoking outside, drinking outside, just doing things outside of the crib, because this winter beat your boy's ass. Like I forgot how much seasonal depression was a thing until I got back here. Because, in Chicago, you have it, whatever, and it had just been a minute. But, brother, this was just a tough winter in general. A lot of snow and shit. So I'm excited about just being outside. And honestly, I'm also just like excited to like really get in shape.
Yeah,
like physically in shape.
I will say that's a big part. That's a big part of the last couple of weeks is like going to the gym every day. Like working out every single day, whether it's like lifting / running / like whatever that looks like. Definitely trying to get in shape and be like, all right, like this is adding it to my every single day.
Yeah.
Right. As we getting too old, we get to the point where, we're young enough where we can still be active, like really, really, truly active out here.
Yeah.
But old enough where like, all right, like, you should probably start doing that shit now if you're not already.
Too, this last thing on spring is I know we talked about it being a Hennessy summer, but I also think it should be a no date spring. Just because it's warm outside doesn't mean we need to be dating a bunch. Be outside. Live your life. Have fun. But this does not mean we need to be on a bunch of dates. I've made that mistake
I will say there has been an influx in communication with me lately. I don't know what the hell's going on.
With you or out? Inbound?
Like inbound too. Nice. And I'm like, whoa, I don't know what's happening. I don't know where it's coming from, but people are like, hey, you. I'm like, whoa, please. I'm a Christian.
This dick is off limit. Bro,
please. Oh my God.
Bro, telling a young lady that this dick is closed is kind of the funniest. They don't know how to. This is I'm generalizing, of course, and this is a podcast. We're making jokes, but telling a young lady like, yeah, the dick is closed. It doesn't like compute sometimes in a funny way. And I'm sure guys too. Whatever you tell a guy, whatever, you can't get some coochie
because men are whores. That's why. Right. They're like, I'm sorry, you're not about, and I'm ready to drop it, and you not. I don't understand. Like. Please drop it. Like it's almost
dick is closed.
It's almost given. Nigga, shut up. Bring your ass in this.
Yeah, it is. But I'm telling y'all right now, dick. If you listen to this show right now, dick is closed until further notice.
Sometimes
now, Torrance, am I lying? Yes.
Yes.
But dick is closed though.
Yes.
At the same time,
I'm gonna still say that, but the right circumstances, the Hennessy or the.
No,
that starts to flow.
We need to stop. We all, as a community, we need to stop. And for me and Danny Sellers' company, dick is closed. Ain't no more left. Anyways, all right, let's get into some current events, thoughts, things, whatever. I sent this to you earlier today. One of our queens of culture and industry,
queens of comedy,
entertainment,
yes,
Sister Act, Color Purple. So many more. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg had 3 marriages. She's 70. And essentially, Whoopi Goldberg said, I think it was on The View, was like, look, yeah, I bar hop. I go hang. I do hit and runs when I need it. Whoopi, you know what I just said about dick is closed? Whoopi's like, you know what? It might not be closed, but it's not open. And when I need to open, it's going to be open.
Like, I don't always got an itch, but when I got an itch, I'm finna scratch it.
It's gonna get scratched.
I'm finna scratch this itch. I'm finna scratch it. And again, when you are Whoopi Goldberg, when you are like
right,
like true,
rich.
like
rich dark chocolate, rich.
What you finna?
Rich, yeah. You know your dark chocolate's a little richer.
Exactly, like that. Like how you? What,
you ever had like dark chocolate, like in the Christmas candies?
Yeah,
the milk, like the Valentine's Day, like it's milk chocolate, it's white chocolate, it's a little macadamia, but you get that one bar at the corner, the top corner, and you have that like second or third. It's like, it's a dark chocolate. It's
and it's
rich.
good. It's rich.
This tastes. Sorry.
this gotta taste.
God damn. Okay, this is a little.
I'm not doing this. This I'm not gonna do. I won't do this. This I will not do. In the mic, that's crazy.
I wasn't sure, but now hold on. Why didn't this have a box of these?
No.
Hey, you eat your
dark
chocolate.
You eat your dark chocolate.
God damn. Okay.
Hey yo, please stop doing that into the mic.
Hold on.
I apologize to the listeners already. What the?
Do I exclusively like dark chocolate? Hold on. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, but like, if you've been married 3 times,
yes,
and you're 70, you should only really, honestly, hot take, you should only be allowed to be married twice. Period. One, get out the way. Boom. Everybody deserves one. We do it. Whether you're broke, rich, famous, whatever.
They say that first pancake, you usually throw that first pancake out. You throw that first waffle out anyway.
Yeah, The skillet wasn't fully hot. The oil wasn't popping.
It wasn't tempered. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't tempered. The pan wasn't,
No,
it may have been too hot, too cold. Like it needed to
get soggy. Get soggy. That second, third one, boom. But you, as a country, we should only let people get married twice. And if you 70, and I'm breaded up. Whoopi Goldberg breaded up. Sister Act money, checks, mailbox money checks. Nah, you're not getting none of this. You get this when I call. This is when I call Coochie.
And again, like she said, I do my hit and runs. That's it. That's me. I'm doing the hitting and I'm doing the running. Yeah. Like I am the captain
you
of my
flew
ship.
out to Italy. Yeah. I think she lives like in Italy. You getting flew out to Italy. And I'm gonna take care of you, little nigga, but
absolutely,
you got some chores around this house.
I'm gonna send your ass out of here with some gas money. I'm gonna give you a little bite to eat. Old chef downstairs, they got a little bacon, got some oranges for you. Make it healthy, nice balance. Got little orange slices for you for your energy. Get you some vitamin C in your system, because I know I wore your ass out and take your ass on out my house.
Hey man, if an older lady gave me some orange slices after cracking, bro, that would be funny.
Hell yeah, I like that. Actually, and guess what? Thank you so much. Absolutely.
You sitting there crisscross applesauce, like thank you.
Just exactly. Like you just got off the soccer field, just eating.
Feet dangling. Why your feet dangling? But I mean, the thing about Whoopi Goldberg, she seems like such a cool person. Yeah. One time she was a guest on Kevin Hart's show that I produced, and it was virtual. So Kevin was running late from different meetings. So I'm just trying to talk to Whoopi Goldberg to one of those moments where you're at a job and it's like, how did I get here? Like, how am I on a call with me and Whoopi Goldberg trying to stall her for 15 minutes? But you can just, she was on a press run for, I think she was promoting her graphic novel or something like that. And to see how just, there's levels. There's like people that we know that are famous now, right? Like a Drewski or even a Kevin Hart, like our generation of famous. And then you have the elders like her, like a Delroy Lindo, like those people, the
legendary people who
Spike
always,
they've been around for literally 50, 40 years. They've been famous for that long. Yes. They've been in these circles. So it's like there's nothing you can say to massage the thing to these people. Yeah. Especially somebody black elder. You got to just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You can't bullshit these people. So it was just a cool moment to be like, he's running late. Sorry. There's nothing I can even relate. Sometimes you can like relate to a person like, oh, you're from so and so. I love that place. I'm like, yeah, I've never been to Italy, so I can't. All I can say is sorry to her every 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What you should have did was text me, because I've seen so many Whoopi Goldberg movies, an absurd amount, like an aggressive amount. Like Whoopi Goldberg is probably one of my favorites in like the action comedic, like in the 80s, 90s kind of vibe. That she dominated that. So sorry, I'm getting on my little my Whoopi little soapbox here, but like she's fantastic. So I'm actually a little jealous now that, because you didn't tell me that until now.
Well, sorry. Well, my life is pretty cool. Sorry. Anyways, so another topic, current event thing. This bleeds into our actual investigation this episode. E.J. Johnson. E.J. Johnson is a child of Magic Johnson, and E.J. went on a podcast with Carlos King. And I didn't watch the whole thing, and this isn't necessarily a conversation about EJ in particular, but EJ on the podcast had a couple different not hot takes, but just like clips that were interesting to me about queerness, about black relationships, when it comes to family and acceptance and accepting and embracing versus tolerating. So I wanted to touch on that topic to get into our actual discussion of the day, if that's cool with you, Torrance.
Yeah, let's dive in. Let's do the thing.
So one thing that maybe isn't as, it's interesting, and maybe you can help me better understand what EJ meant by this. In this conversation with Carlos King, EJ mentioned that he prefers dating straight men and does not attract or feel attracted to gay men. Now, I've heard other podcasts talk about this in different ways, but someone who is, if I can say this, queer, from your perspective, like what does that mean just from your perspective? You're not EJ, you don't have them in your phone, but like someone straight who's not in that space as much, what does that kind of mean? Is there like a slang? Is there like a tongue-in-cheek thing here when someone of that sort says that kind of thing?
No, I don't think so. I think it's two, there are two different ways of looking at it. One is that EJ is like female presenting. Generally. Sure. So yes, men are going to be attracted. Men who are attracted to females are going to be like, oh, that attracts me. I'm attracted to this female presenting person, right? This non-binary, whatever pronouns they, use. It is like, because again, they were saying like, oh, I don't feel attracted to gay men, and they're not attracted to me, but that's because gay men are usually attracted to male presenting masculinity. I think, and that's the other part of it, is that like straight men, or like the masculine, hard, straight men, that typically is like where, for gay men, for some, they're looking for that masculinity. That's what they are attracted to. That's what they want. That's what they're, sort of going toward. So you hear a lot of people say, like, and not from EJ's perspective, I don't think is what they were saying, but like from the perspective of like, oh, I only like straight men. Like that's how gay people say that. Like, oh, I only like straight men. Queer people are like, oh, I only like straight men. And I think it's more so like, I like people who are super masculine, not necessarily in the gay world, because it can be messy. It can be a mess. And I think from EJ's perspective, at least from when I watched it, it was more like, no, like straight men look at me and they'll stare at me for a while, and then I'll look at them and I'm like, what's up? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I think being, female presenting or feminine in that way, that is attractive to straight men in general.
That makes sense. One thing that's interesting to me is, I don't know if it's a shoehorn effect or what, where like you born male presenting whatever, and then maybe this is a lot of people's arc, and this kind of maybe goes into our actual conversation of families embracing queerness and coming out. But someone, boy, or their gender is male, then maybe they're gay and then they come out as trans. How that affects dating, and say for whatever reason they met their partner when they're just in this coming out where, hey, I'm gay point in their life, right? And then they're together, they're in love, and then this person goes from I'm a gay man to, hey, I want to transition into a woman. and now you're a woman, and how that potentially affects that relationship. Of course, we're not talking in generalities or we can only talk in generalities because everyone's different. But I'm just curious if either you've like witnessed that with some of your friends or just in general, if you were in that situation where you were with someone who was a man and then said, hey, I want to transition, does that change your now sexual preference, or is it all kind of an umbrella under queerness where if I'm under this certain intersection of queerness, I'm still rolling?
I think that it like you said, it very much is individualistic. So, gender identity and sexual orientation, those, because they're separate, they can be conflated based on, whoever is going through whatever, their personal journey is. Sure. So while, there could be things that you are, some people can decide like, oh no, I'm going to stay with you because I love you and I love you, the person, versus being like, oh, I only like you as this version of you. Right. And as people grow and as people change, I think it's like with any relationship, people change and people grow, whether it's, gender identity is changing or just like life shit happening and they're just turning into a different person in general from who they were when you first met them. I think that, one is probably more visible and more drastically seen than others. But I think that they all kind of fall under that same umbrella being like, look, that's not what I signed up for, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so I guess it really just depends on the person. If they decide that they want to stay with their partner through their transition, I think that's beautiful. I think it's fantastic, honestly. I think people are people, outside of all the other crazy things that society has kind of put on our fucking heads to force us to do. But then there's also just the people who are like, I didn't know that this was who you were and how and where you were headed and what that is. And everyone has a right to change their mind. People can bow out at any moment of their lives. So I think it sort of depends on the individual person. Yeah.
It's as a straight person, it's interesting to me because there's on one side of it it's like the super, type A macho man niggas were like, first of all, I don't want no gay nigga even looking my way, whatever. And it's like, yeah, me either. But at the same time, if I'm like, I'll have shows all the time where there'll be a gay dude in the audience just being funny, heckling, woo, woo, and whatever. And I might just make fun of it, but I'm not gonna be like, nah, what the fuck, nigga? Like, because it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. It's not that serious to me, I guess. I think the only time it's like a thing if it's like you're disrespecting me. But that's even a shorty was. If I felt disrespected by a woman, I'd be like, yo, like relax. Like you don't have to be pressing me in this kind of way. Like, I would be weirded out.
I think with that part too, there is so much when it comes to. I think the foundation of that is shame. Right? There's a lot of shame that people feel for Black people to be different. And it is a very interesting phenomenon to me. And EJ kind of talked about it in their interview with Carlos as being like, what I do shouldn't affect what you do. What I do and how I'm living shouldn't affect your masculinity at all. However, for a lot of families and for a lot of people, there is this weird connection that people make when it comes to shame, and when it comes to queerness and shame. And it's also, unfortunately, how it goes to abuse within families as well. And shame and not speaking up and saying things about someone who may be abusing someone within the family. Right? There's a lot of shame around it, but they won't say anything. No. They won't call somebody out because that's shameful. I don't want to cast a shadow over the family. I don't want to cast shadow over this particular person here. However, there's a victim here that is being, tormented, having to be in the same place as their abuser. And it's not the same exact thing, but it's a shame that people feel when it comes to queerness.
So you bring up shame. Like, what do you mean by shame? Like, I guess, how does that shame like manifest itself? Because shame can be broad. Shame can, what do you mean by shame? Especially in like the Black family.
Yeah, I think from the perspective of the way that I'm talking about shame, it's just that anything that the family thinks could shine a light onto something, a problem, quote unquote problem, right? That the family deems, right? One of them is actually a problem, right? So when I talk about an abuser, somebody who does something actually heinous and awful in that regard, that is an actual problem. Then this is something that like, oh, we don't want to address this because this is a problem. Like this is an actual thing. Yeah. We're not going to address it. We're not going to talk about it, right? Like this is a horrible, awful trope that, you know, has been discussed on many occasions within the Black family, unfortunately. But then we also talk about queerness from the perspective of Black people feeling like, oh, this might bring shame to us because there's a gay person in the family. Like, oh, this is shameful. Again, you ain't doing no harm. You ain't harming nobody. You just living your life and you doing your thing. But to the family's perspective, oh, this is shameful. So we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to address it. We're literally going to push you away. And it's almost like this, like, it's so misdirected, the shame, in my opinion, right? Like the shame should be put on the person that's doing the harmful, heinous thing, and it should be addressed. And that motherfucker needs to be pushed out, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the person that needs to be out of here in this experience. It's really upsetting to me. And again, like as a queer person existing and understanding how fickle people address how difficult it can be for someone who is queer to find a safe space within a family. Specifically in a Black family. That to me is, and again, you ain't done nothing wrong. You ain't hurt nobody. You are still the same person, full of love, full of, you know, just being yourself and finally deciding that I am going to honor me. And the family can sometimes take that as a betrayal. Like, what about this? What about that? What about this? Don't say this. That could mean that it's just really difficult when I have to talk about it kind of personally for myself, because I understand that to put, you know, someone who has done something harmful and someone who hasn't done anything at all in the same category of like causing that same level of shame or a similar level of shame, it just doesn't add up to me. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But that's the only way that I can understand it. It's like a fear of something, the fear of shame. It's the only way that I can really, you know, put those things together.
No, that makes sense. And even like on the other side of it, as an uncle, you know, I'm so, even from afar, I don't live in the same city as any of my nieces or nephews, but that is something that I'm so cognizant of, and like I worry about, of like, make sure that every touch point in my nieces and nephews' life, there's a good person around and they're protected and they're loved. Yeah. And then I could not imagine going from that perspective, right, as an elder now in my Black family, to then 10 years from now, one of them being like, also, I'm gay as fuck. And then that just going away. That same level of protection, being that conditional. When I think of love, I think of it like as an unconditional thing. And I think there's so many people that conflate love with a certain condition that is really alarming in multiple different ways. Because another point EJ made was coming out, you know, having to come out to your parents is one thing, but then the levels of like communication to continue to come out is also like an interesting thing that I think people know about, but don't. Like, I think being in the arts, me, comedian, I'm around people that are, you know, queer all the time. So I hear jokes about, I first time I came out, and then the second time I came out, because it might be, you know, coming out as gay, and then actually, you know, either I'm trans or whatever, the update, I'm bisexual, or whatever it is. And I think that sometimes, going back to that shoehorn of maybe this person had this feeling all along that like, bruh, I don't like having a dick and I'm trying to chop this shit off. But, you know, I've always felt weird, you know, whatever. Thing is, I have to make this palatable for people, everybody. So I have to say shit in the meantime. But it's true. But I mean, I'm sure whatever, like the feeling of you're not feeling comfortable in your body. I can understand that. I'm being hyperbolic, but you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, but then having to ease your family into that because of the shame that they have shown. And I really want to discuss before you go is like this idea, you've touched on it, is idea of tolerating versus embracing. a relationship or a thing about someone in your family?
It's pretty tough. There is a level of there's a level of care that I think queer people have to take when being themselves and the whole coming out of it all. I want to make sure you feel comfortable. Meanwhile, I am surrounded by people who make me feel uncomfortable every day.
And you said about your family.
Family,
I want to
family,
make sure
friends,
right.
Family, friends, right? Like, I mean, when I told you it was in Vegas, and you were like the last person that of the line that I told, because I was like, I don't know how this football head nigga is gonna respond when I tell him this. So I said, okay, number one, we graduated. Number two, like, we in Vegas, we just taking a little trip to Vegas. I was like, if he act crazy, at least I'm gonna go back here. He gonna go back to Chicago at the time, and
or maybe San Francisco or Chicago
or San Francisco, something like that. And it's just gonna be cool, right? It's gonna be what it's gonna be just in case, right? And it wasn't even a thing of like, oh, I thought you were gonna, whatever, but I didn't know what that experience was gonna look like for me. Sure. And so there was a level of care that I feel like I have to take when I'm having these conversations with people, with telling them that I'm queer or this is, who I am, which is, a little bit exhausting, and it's sad because the world is already against me in a big way. And to think that people that I care about the most, or people that are in my life, and they care about aspects of me, but just not all of me. Right. And that I think is the one that kind of punches me in the gut the most, is when I know that who I am and how I present is a bit masculine presenting at times. So it can be a little confusing for people. But once people find out, they clam up, or I didn't know. Or, like I had a friend who legitimately cut me off when I told him. In college. It was in college. It was in college. It was one of my childhood best friends. Like, we were super duper close. Cut me off. Like, crazy. And it wasn't, and this was, I want to say, sophomore, junior year.
Okay.
I think. And it wasn't until 2021 that he and I had a conversation and a sit down when I was back in Baltimore for a little bit. And then, he would like, I apologize. I don't know why I acted like, I just didn't know. And I didn't know how to respond or whatever. So again, I'm coming with all this trauma, being like, that was my biggest fear at the time. Coming out to somebody who I love and I care about. And then they just say, I can't even fuck with you no more because of who you are. And that,
there's so many levels to that, cause it's like, it's that level one of like, cool, you told me this thing, I'm not cool with that, see you never. And then there's the other one, which I would imagine is also really, really tough, is like the tolerating. Like, if you had told me that and then I was just like, all right, that's what's up, bro. But then anytime you asked to hang out, I was like, I'm busy, or I can't be in the car with Torrance by himself. Like, I'm not shaming you, but I'm just passive aggressively not fucking with you. And I'm just tolerating you as my friend, I'm tolerating your existence. I'd imagine that's probably pretty tough too. Cause like, especially if you get in a space where you have a partner and you're bringing that partner to family things. And now it's like, okay, Torrance and his little gay ass friend, his roommate's here, or like maybe your mama know, but then, or not you, but like someone, your parent knows, but then around family, this is just your roommate, where like, now I still can't be my authentic self. The whole trope of aunties coming with her roommate type shit. It's like, that I think comes from a level of tolerating where we're not going to excommunicate you from the family, but we're not doing that gay shit here. And I think that's gotta be also pretty like traumatic. You know what I'm saying?
It's traumatic. And I think, and I'm not saying that white people don't have this experience as well. I'm sure that they do, but I don't think at the alarming rate that I think that a lot of.
What do you think that's from though? From the black experience? What do you think
it's shameful.
Right.
Don't cast any light on us that don't put us in a bad light, because again, a church, right? People like, oh, being gay is a sin. That's it. We don't got nothing in my family. We don't got that in my family. No. Like, I know people gay, but not in my family. We're not going to do that here. So I think a lot of it is, I don't want any type of overcast on us as a people, right? Because then it's us as a people, right? So what ends up happening is we as, queer folk, queer Black people within family, within community, within, whatever that looks like at your home is, I find most of us will just not say anything, like just won't talk about it, because there's not a place for us to talk about it. So we build our own communities and we build our own spaces where we can be our full selves and not feel like, oh man, if I say this thing, it's going to make someone so uncomfortable that they won't be able to talk to me for a day or for whatever. And it's taken so much and I can speak for myself on this part, it's taken so much for me to love me that I refuse to get into a place where I am feeling disrespected or feeling like you're not going to love me simply nah, fuck that. I have gone through. I mean, I grew up in church too. I know what I've heard. We've all heard the same things. I just experience life differently than you, and I have attractions that are different than yours. And I tell people all the time, baby, if this was a choice, I don't think I would have chosen it.
Right.
It's such a tough thing.
Living, you live in LA and I lived in LA, New York, Chicago, and just that is one thing that we talk about, the male loneliness epidemic and all that kind of stuff. And I think a lot of that does come from like a weird heterosexual desire to not seem as if like we need help. Like we struggle with asking for things or being vulnerable in a sense. Because a lot of times we haven't had to be vulnerable like in our everyday lives to get money and succeed and shit. But I do feel like a lot of my queer friends have a lot of friends because you have to double down on that chosen family of people that get you and understand you. And it goes back to the whole funny thing of like dating interracially. It's like, yeah, dog, I got to explain to this white lady why me as a Black person, whatever, has to go through this thing, or this thing is annoying, or this joke is a joke. Why this joke is funny would be exhausting versus someone that just gets me, understands me. I don't have to do the preamble every time I have a comment about a thing.
It's exhausting. And again, let me be very clear. My family love me. I love my family. I'm blessed. I'm in that space, but that's not the story for everybody. Right. That's not the experience that everyone has. And
what would you say for people maybe that are listening that maybe have someone in their life that that is queer, that maybe has come out, or you suspect or whatever, they haven't come out to you yet? What would be advice that you would give those people that are on the other side of that news or that reality?
I think here's the thing. Most times, whatever, I will say that it is important to be a safe space for everybody that you love and you care about. Their sexual orientation should not matter that damn much. That has nothing to do with you. Unless they push it up on you and they make you feel uncomfortable, then that's a different conversation. Because that just means that particular person, they not right up there. They got a little something going on and they need to work that out. But if they're not doing nothing to you, they're just living their lives and they're just being themselves and just existing. And this is just who they are. Love on your friend. Be there when they need to, share things. Right? Like your life, and how dare you feel like you're the only one that can share? How dare you feel like and again, the world has made you feel like, oh, I could talk about, my sexcapades with this person, that person to anybody who will listen, but then turn turn a frown when someone else shares something with you. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's something too that I've tried to really embrace, whether it be our relationship or even other friends that I have, is like, this, like, to your point, if me and my homeboy are talking about some girls getting some coochie, whatever, being outside, and if my gay friend, whether it be you or the others that also, you're listening, I have a lot of gay friends, so don't act like this. I did not just get Torrance as my one token gay friend to have this conversation. People that are listening that, he found his one gay person that, you know what I'm saying?
That would be funny.
That is I have more than just Torrance. Torrance might be my oldest,
that might be true. That might be true.
But not my only. But yeah, that everyday conversation of, if you have a nigga, like, I want to hear about this nigga that you like, you know what I'm saying? Or you don't like, whatever. And I also think too, you've done this where I'm sure you also have different friends for different things. Like you're not gonna probably tell me, Danny Sellers, about some nigga you fucked and some freaky shit he did, whatever.
That don't make no sense. Like,
right. Sometimes you might like edit it. Like I know times where you've like edited some things that you said. Yes. Like, this nigga was, I had this nigga bent over, but then like you stop. Well, you're like, all right, well let me, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so well, Danny, like, damn.
Yeah, as a friend, I can appreciate that because, like, I kind of don't want to hear. In general, though, also, I actually really don't want to hear any of my friends talking about like getting their dick sucked. It's like, all right, brother, I don't need to hear the details about what this girl did to you.
Exactly, but it's also like, interesting because that's a part of the talk, the guy talk of it all, and it's really funny because, and I'm kind of going to pivot to the next part of this is that because it's kind of related, is that. There was this guy who was on, I think it was Beauty and the Black or one of the Tyler Perry shows, who recently was like, I think he played a gay character on the show or like, it was like something like that, but then posted recently, like, yeah, I think that gay shit is an abomination. Like that shit is
what?
It's a sin. That's a like, yeah, like, ain't no problem for your God loves all his children, but what you doing, it like very much that kind of vibe. Yeah. And so like there was there's been this huge conversation around, straight men playing queer characters, queer people not feeling safe in that space. Cause again, it's like you want the money. Everybody wants the money. But then it's like, hold on, I can't play that. I don't want you to think that I'm gay. So I have to disrespect, or I have to, go to the extreme to make it seem like it's one thing. Because no matter what, people will put you in that box. It just is what it is. I'm sorry. That's just society. Like that's just is what it is.
Before you keep going, even when I was auditioning a lot, when I had my manager, they would send me like queer roles sometimes. I'm like, yeah, this is not me. For one couple reasons. One, I'm just not comfortable doing gay stuff. I'm just not gay, so I'm just not that hard of. I'm not that much of a thespian to where I'm trying to kiss a dude on camera. There's so many other talented black people that you could get that wouldn't bat an eye. That's just not my thing.
A part of that, yeah.
And I think sometimes as the straight friend, the straight creator, whatever, I think it's okay to just bow out like respectfully, like, hey, this is not for me. Not because I hate these people, but this is not, I'm not British. So I have a bad British accent, also don't want to kiss a nigga on camera, you know what I'm saying? Or like, whatever. I might not be as great at, basketball. So I'm probably not that convincing on camera, trying to be a NBA player, like all the things that come about, when it comes to that specific thing. But go ahead with the Tyler Perry deal. I know there was a picture that came out last week or something about this new girlfriend he had in Marlo from, if you know,
it was literally Marlo Hampton. Like it was
from Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's a random lady to put him
with. That's a random person to be like, oh, now Tyler Perry is dating Marlo Hampton.
But it's random enough. It's random enough to where it's like, okay,
yeah, like it's random enough. They both based mostly in Atlanta. His studio's in Atlanta. Yeah. She Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it's like maybe like it was sent around enough where people were like, maybe, but then we had to like I'm like zooming in. I'm like, that look fake. That don't look.
Yeah, thick Marlo.
That looks crazy.
It was AI. But in general, it is, I mean, Tyler Perry, I don't know if he's ever made a statement about his sexuality or anything like that, but it is interesting.
It's a part of that as well. I think that there's a big push nowadays, which is beautiful to me. And I think everybody wants to know everybody's business. So it's okay if you don't share. That's what I'll tell people who are listening who may be queer and living their life and whatever. It's okay if you don't tell anybody. Let people talk. They're going to talk about you regardless. They were doing it before. They're going to continue to do it. You don't need to confirm nor deny a goddamn thing. Continue to live your life. If that is who Tyler Perry is, that's who he is. Like I'm like, cool, go off. Do your thing. Like it's just I think because I spent so much time hating myself and having so much like fear and pain in myself over something that does not matter. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm so smart. I'm so funny. I'm so this. I'm so many other things. And that's the one thing that's your hang up. That's your hang up. And I'm not even talking about I'm attracted to you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after somebody. Nigga, I'm over here minding my business.
Well, that's the funny part about it is that none of you niggas was gonna fuck Tyler Perry either anyway. You know, like especially when it comes to famous people or even people in your community, to be honest. Like to your point earlier, if I'm not pressing up on you in an aggressive way beyond just like, hey, you look good, whatever, there's really genuinely no reason to give a fuck about who somebody's having sex with. And that's something that also helps me sleep really good at night, knowing that I don't really care unless I'm in a relationship with you. I don't give a fuck who you're fucking.
And it really is and then this is going to sound bad, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's the misogyny of it all, of the like, I want to control you. I have to have control over you. I want to control women's bodies. I want to control what women do. I want to control what men do. I want to control who they're with. And if you are doing this, it's a crime. And I'm going to come and get you. And if you know what I mean? Like if you're doing these things, it's just such a very like controlling, colonizing mindset that you have to be what I tell you to be. And if you're anything other than that, then it is a crime or it is a problem. It is a shame. It is all those things.
And everything, last thing I'll say on this, everything isn't a conspiracy. I feel like there's a lot of conspiracy talk. I don't know if it's the economy. I don't know if people not having money, and a lot of things are true, right? The Epstein files and stuff. A lot of this stuff is happening where it's like, okay, some things are happening that are, but I don't think every single time there's a gay person on TV, it's some massive conspiracy to like demasculate black men.
Oh yeah, it's a setup. I just
don't think it. I don't know. I just don't think it is. Like I just don't think it is.
Okay, this is probably my last little bit. It was Big Mama's House 3. I forget the dude's name.
Well, that's crazy.
Okay, well, let me tell you.
We didn't need 3 of those.
We didn't need 3. Number one, we didn't need 3 of them.
That might be my 13th reason why.
That might be, Big Mama's House 3 was insane. First of all, because I watched it and that was crazy.
Yeah, we didn't need
1 and 2. Number 1, sensational. 2,
we really only needed 1.
Yeah, we really needed 1. The first one was great. But there was the dude, Brandon T. Jackson. Did I make up that name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Brandon,
and I remember him coming out on a podcast. Not coming out, sorry. He was on a podcast and he was like, yo, like, you know, people were like, you shouldn't do that role. You shouldn't wear a dress because like I can't get no more gigs because I wore a dress. And I'm like, do you know how many men like in movies, in shows, wore dresses and it didn't stop their career from growing?
You mean Robert Williams?
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Like Patrick Swayze, some of the most like iconic actors, Eddie Murphy, Martin, like who you were, Martin, like wore things and are extremely successful. Jamie Foxx, like it's such a weird like you said the conspiracy of like, oh, they're trying to make the black man look feminine and just no, shut the fuck.
Yeah, and for me, it's like, once again, coming back to my reality, and if I was offered, I would not do it for a couple of reasons. One, I've never worn a dress in my life, so it's just not my bag.
It's not comfortable. I don't want to do that.
Right, and it's been done so many times. It's like we could get some other shit off. If we wanted to do get into a character bag, we can do so much other stuff to get a point across. Period. Like, so I think a lot of this conversation is about for me, what are you comfortable with, and being okay with if someone else is comfortable doing it, right? Like if another nigga wants to wear a dress on TV, go for it. Are you gonna ever see Danny Sellers in a dress on TV or in behind closed doors? No, but that's just me. That's my reality. And if a nigga wants to do it and it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. I was just watching Jamie Foxx, and I watch Jamie Foxx and Martin all the time. Whenever I see Shanae, I laugh. It's funny. It's hilarious. You know, I almost watched Mrs. Doubtfire the other day, because I've never seen it in its totality. But like, it's a classic. I know it's a classic. It's on my list to watch.
And it's funny as hell. Like, it's like, you know, it's white humor, but that shit was funny as shit. Like, I think that there's, it's like you said, it's not all a conspiracy. Just live your life. Just mind your fucking business. That's my take. Everyone mind your damn business. Yeah. Mind your business.
And I made a joke before we get into your question of the day or your segment of the day. I made a joke on Threads. I'm like, I'll make a joke about dating, right? Blanketed joke. You know, girls be tripping when they do whatever. You know, harmless. I'll have like 5 guys literally in the replies like, see, that's why I can't trust these hoes, because these hoes I'm like, brother, hold on. This was a joke. I like girls, so
it's a lot of incels
like
out there, man. It's a lot of incels.
I like women a lot. I like women almost too much. So I'm pro women. I'm pro black women. I'm pro women. I like them to be comfortable around me. I don't agree with whatever you're saying. So
whatever trope whatever you jumped on. Wait a minute, you thought I was an ally. I'm not an ally.
We're not on the same side. The Kimbe Mutombo finger wag. No. I like them and they like me a lot. We both like each other a lot. So no, thank you. Anyways, before we get out of here, every episode Torrance has a segment. And this segment is So I Dated, where our listeners, friends, colleagues, whomever send in notes, questions about their love life or in general. And we like to talk about it on the podcast. So Torrance, we may have, if you have time for another one, we'll do another one. But what's our first question from our listeners today?
Yeah. So this So I Dated came in a question form and we love that. Send it in whatever form you have. The question is, what do you do when you think one of your ex's homegirls is actually your soulmate?
Soulmate is tough. Soulmate? Soulmates?
Okay. Do you believe in soulmates, Danny? That's a big question that people are asking. Do you believe in soulmates?
I think yes. I think you can find your perfect match. I think there's multiple, but I also think there's multiple soulmates for somebody in the world. I think any given person, there's I think 1,000 soulmates. Maybe 1,000 is a lot, but like there's a few hundred people that, you know what, I could spend the rest of my life with this person and be completely happy. When it comes to like looks, there's what 8 billion people in the world. I don't think there's one person in the world for somebody. I think anyone says that, I think is on bullshit. Yeah. But I do think, once again, religion, sexual preference, family life, professional goals, whatever. All those things are perfectly aligned. I think there's a few hundred people in the world. And yeah, have I been in a club, in a party where I stepped to some shorty? Then I'm getting her number and she's walking out. Then I see the shorty behind her is way badder. Yeah, I'm disappointed now. Now I'm upset. Now I'm mad that I shot way too soon. Because now I'm in a club dancing with a shorty who she's cool. I fuck with her. I like her. But your friend is somebody that I can settle down with and start a family with. I don't know her name yet. But I know if I had the chance, she would have my son and I'm going to call him Man. No, I got a Man. Me and her, Man. Family of 3.
So I guess... do you think it's ethical
to date within the friend group? Have I done it, Torrance? Yes. Okay.
I didn't ask that part yet. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I know. So I saw the twinkle in your eye. Yeah. Have I dated? What I'm saying, whoopty whoops. Yeah.
Friend of
have
a friend.
Done it?
A friend of an ex.
Yeah. Whoop de doo.
Whoop de doo.
But a lot of times they come to me. I rarely slide on a friend like after I slid on the friend. Women, y'all part of the problem too. We can talk about it as a family off mic, but y'all be sliding just as much as we be sliding. And so soulmate is a strong word because the thing is this: if I'm dating you and I get to know your friend, I'm around your friend a lot because we're dating, we're kicking it, whatever. If I can think your friend's attractive. And if it also depends what kind of friend this is. Is this like a freaky friend? Then that's a different conversation. But like this is your homegirl from college or work or whatever. I think where it gets tricky is if that is a friend of like one of your homeboys who also dated that person. Like if I dated Shorty, and then her friend or whatever dates one of my friends, we break up.
Oh, that mucks it up. That mucks it up.
So then I date someone that my friend has dated. Yeah. Then it's kind of weird because it's like, now you were scheming on my shorty.
Yeah.
You're scheming on my shorty the whole time we were together. That's weird. I heard that a lot from girls who break up with a guy and then their friends slide in their DMs. That's nasty. I've never done that before.
I think I do.
Say what your chest. You're gonna say it.
I do think that it's a horrible situation to be in. I'll say that. But similar to you, I think that there are certain people, right, who are just off limits in my mind. And I don't mean it from a perspective of like, like in that scenario, in that situation, I care so much about, like, it would have to be one of those, like, it would have to be a crazy circumstance for me to decide to break that barrier with a friend and an ex.
Right.
Like that to me is absurd. Like a real ex, like a real one. Nah, like that. I care too much about my friend, especially if it's going to hurt my friend, if it's going to bother them.
Yeah. I've had exes where like I don't even want to talk to someone that went to the same school as my ex.
I don't want no connection
because I know it's going. Because if it goes perfectly, then I'm gonna be at a wedding again. You was at my wedding, or not, somebody else was at my wedding at our wedding. Yeah, and now I got to talk to somebody. Oh, what happened? No. Even bro, I'm. Fuck it. Someone that I know knows someone that I also dated. I ain't gonna say it. I gotta say it. Okay. The world is. Well, we'll say it, the world is smaller than you realize. Where there's, especially when you live in a big city, you'll date somebody. I've dated someone, and one of their friends knew someone else that I dated, and luckily I was, I'm not a liar. So when I meet this person, I'm not lying about, whether it be my marriage or past stuff or whatever. So unknowingly to me, this girl knows me really, really well. I'll tell you once we get off of here. And, corroborated it with everything I had already told this shorty that I'm talking to, that I went on a date with. So it's like the world is really small in a way that it is. In my humble opinion, as a grown up, to answer this question to the listener, the world is so big also that just go to the next shorty, like go to the next friend group. Because there's always going to be one level of connection, probably, whether it be work, school, run club, gym, whatever it is. There's going to be a friend of a friend, most of the time, especially in black, spaces in these big cities. Yeah. So if you can just go to another baddie that also went to, a good school with a fat ass and is cool, or guy, girl, whatever, just do that because it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Don't. I say don't do it. It's not. That's so that messes. And you have brain power that could be going to so many positive things in your life. This is just hell. This sounds like hell. Yeah. Even me, I don't really date anybody from Elon. Like if we went to school together at this point, it's also not that many black people. So it's, or the pool was already like,
yeah, but even just white in general. It's such a small space, but it's like, what for what? I can go do other things. And
the world is so big. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Don't do that. All right, one more. Let's do one more real quick.
Yeah, one more question. Should men start prioritizing looking for women with money like women do? Now listen.
Go ahead. Give your
I need thoughts. I was going to say, listen, I need to hear Danny's take. I don't know about y'all. Really? I don't know about y'all, but I really, really want to hear Danny's take on this one.
Look, we live in a very expensive time. No, I mean, I think anytime, like as a person, as an entrepreneur, hustler, creator, whatever, I'm always on the move, hustling, trying to improve myself. And so I've built my life to a certain degree where, hey, I can live by myself. I can break even every month, and I can live in the most expensive city in the world, and I can do cool stuff every now and then. So someone that I need to be with needs to be of equal or more, or, around that same mindset. The money's going to come with whenever you are working hard and doing your best. So yeah, I've dated a lot of shorties that make more money than me, that are more successful than me in my past few years of dating. And that's because I'm just like a pretty secure person within myself, going back to even our earlier conversation about having, queer friends and being, in the queer spaces. Like I'm pretty comfortable with myself and know what I do and don't want, And so prioritizing, not the right word. Okay. But I don't want a shorty that's just on her fucking hands waiting for someone to take care of her. Like I'm just not that person. Even if I had a lot of bread and I was balling and I was, on Netflix, God willing, that's my career, I still don't think I would attract a woman that's just like, I need a sugar daddy. That's just not my bag. I like a girl that, I don't want you to have to work, right? I would love for you to have as soft a life as possible, but I would hope that you have enough passions in your life to where when I'm done doing my thing, right, get off stage and I have an off weekend or off night, I can go support you doing your thing. You're in your pottery fucking showcase or your art gallery or your play. Yeah. Like I've dated a girl once and she was in a play in LA, and it was so cool to just like go to a play by myself, see her do her thing. And it was like fly. I was like happy to be there. It was like cool. I was nobody, no one knew me. And I'm just a nigga in the back watching, the shorty I'm talking to in this play. And I like that kind of stuff. So I think however you're equally yoked or you're looking for someone to be yoked, I think that's the priority. And I think if you live in a city like New York where most people are hustling, you're going to probably find yourself finding people that are also hustling and trying to get to the money and try to get to the bag and have like real proper dreams. What do you think?
I think that, like you said, prioritizing, I feel like is an interesting word choice, but I do think it is important to find somebody who is in alignment with, what you are, because again, there are men who just want to spend money on women and control them. Sure. And if that is what you are looking for, psycho man and slightly psycho woman to be controlled by a man, in my opinion, that's dangerous. That's scary. That's all, all these things. But I think for a healthy relationship, again, this is dated for a healthy relationship and for something that I think there has to be this like quote unquote equally yoked kind of moment, right? Like where life is going to happen. Bad things are going to happen. We live in a very unsure economy. We are in the shits right now. This is the shits. And so if bad things happen, I get laid off, something happens and you're like, whoa, you were paying all the bills, so hurry up and get another job so you can support me again. That to me, I'm like, oh no, that's horrible. Yeah. Right. It's a horrible way of thinking and a horrible way, I think, for a relationship to really be as successful as it could be. Now, some people like that kind of toxic shit. To me, that's toxic to expect one person to do and take care and be the person to bring home the bacon.
Especially up top. Like we up top where we don't have like a mutual interest. We don't have kids together. It is a strange dynamic. I'm sure people are okay with it and fine with it, but it's a dynamic that invites things that I don't think that I would want in my life. Really, that's really what it is. Like I wouldn't want that power dynamic over somebody. I feel like people want to feel empowered and like live with purpose. And if I am with you, I'm attracted to people that have a purpose in life because I'm purpose driven. So I don't think it would be realistic for me to be with someone who just is okay with waking up and like the most important thing is going to like Pilates.
And that's important, right? That's the important thing. Is like
I think those things are important, right? And I would love you to have plenty of days where that is maybe all you have to do, right? But beautiful. I would love for you to be like, I'm going to Pilates, then I'm going to take a meeting about whatever the fuck my new hobby, or I'm opening up I'm opening up a small hair studio, boutique where I'm just take 2-3 clients a week or whatever the fuck. Like I have an Etsy business where I work 3 days a week and I do like, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be something crazy entrepreneurial, or you can be on fucking TV and you're also traveling. I've dated girls on TV. Like I've done the whole thing, so I don't know, whatever. I guess my verdict is that you should prioritize people that you are morally attracted to when it comes to like, their purpose is what you're attracted to. I should say that. Go ahead.
And my verdict is also, looking for somebody with money that can come with so many different things. So be careful out there when you do it.
And I say all this to say, Whoopi Goldberg, if you're listening to this podcast, you need a young slick nigga. A young, slick, cool ass nigga, funny, haha, cool. I'll pull up to Italy. We ain't got to do nothing. I respect you as a creator, as a legend. I'll just walk around butt naked around the house. Whatever you need, consensually. It's chill.
Miss Whoopi, I am such a fan. If you're listening, that's all I have to say.
She's a comedian. She gets this is a joke.
I know. I just respond to how
I would never disrespect Whoopi Goldberg on this massive platform that we built. And if I become famous one day, and this is
the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Just know, Miss Whoopi Goldberg, this is a joke. You're a legend. I would never do anything unless you really needed me to. This is Dated. Another episode of Dated. Like, comment, subscribe to Dated on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. You find our videos on our YouTube, on my YouTube. I'm sorry. You just look me up on YouTube and on our link tree everywhere. On Instagram, where all the clips and stuff. And I've been getting a lot of good feedback about the show. Just people are fucking with it, appreciating it. So I thank you for that. Please also give us good ratings, 5-star ratings on Apple or Spotify, whatever. That helps a lot.
Because I'm a 5-star bitch. So make sure that you keep that shit there. Because I am.
Exactly. We need all the love. But thank y'all so much. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace.